Leadership change is constant, but failure isn't. Success feels like walking a tightrope. What if one trait could triple resilience? Data shows empathy and leadership transitions can. This isn't about being soft. It's about combining empathy with authority to navigate change. Most changes fail on communication, swinging between cold authority and weak empathy. Here we'll break down the framework that turns resistance into powerful momentum. Leadership change is not just an announcement. It's guiding people with empathy and authority. The roadblocks are clear: uncertainty, vague vision, and communication treated as an afterthought. Everyone says communicate better, but that's dangerously vague. So what is the exact communication blueprint that actually works? Authority begins with clarity. Leaders must define the future state and the reasons for it. Without a destination, your team is lost. This isn't just a new project. You must show why leadership change matters to mission and survival. But a vision isn't enough. It must be grounded in radical honesty about the challenges, risks, and benefits. This is how authority earns trust. Why is this honesty so effective? Because in a vacuum of information, the human brain defaults to the worst-case scenario. You replace fear with a solvable problem. You have a clear, transparent vision. That's authority. Now, how do you deliver it with empathy to make people actually listen? Here is the blueprint. You must cover 5 things: the rationale, the solution, the capacity, the commitment, and most of all, the personal impact. This isn't a monologue. It must be a conversation. Open dialogue demonstrates respect and tells your team their experience is valued. The fastest way to disarm resistance? Active listening, validating concerns while leading firmly. Let's be clear. Empathy is not avoiding difficult news. It is delivering that news with genuine consideration for its impact on people. Here's the wrong way. A surprise company-wide email announces a leadership transition for Monday with a generic FAQ link. The result? Panic and mass disengagement. Now the right way. The CEO explains the big picture vision and introduces their successor in a town hall meeting. But the most meaningful conversations happen immediately after. Most trusted messengers in change? Direct managers. Authority flows best through local empathy. During transition, feedback becomes a lifeline. Empathetic framing builds confidence and trust. This all sounds good, but what happens when you've listened, you've empathized, and you must still make a deeply unpopular decision? This is the real test. You have to make tough decisions for the organization. Delaying a needed choice to be liked is not empathy. It is a failure of duty. Avoiding tough calls isn't empathetic. It's abdication. Lead firmly, explain impacts with respect. During the chaos of change, your team needs an anchor. Your consistency in communication and decision-making provides that stability. Leadership is not a solo performance. True authority gives employees ownership over their part of the transition, making them part of the new order. Setting clear expectations is a part of that ownership. Defining what success looks like is not micromanagement. It's a form of professional respect. This respect translates into innovation because your team is in a place of psychological safety about the new leadership. Here's how it all connects. Authority and clarity build the structure. Empathetic communication makes it safe to take risks within that structure. When your team feels heard and knows the destination, they gain control. This turns them from passive recipients into active drivers of the change. Empathy isn't the opposite of authority. It's what makes authority work during the complexities of CXO level or director level transitions. So, successful leadership change comes down to this. 1. Communicate a clear, transparent vision. 2. Listen and make it a dialogue. 3. Make hard calls with empathy. Get this right, and you don't just reduce disruption. You build loyalty, you raise morale, and you create a team that innovates through adversity. Your first step can be small. In your next meeting, ask one question. What is one thing about this change that is unclear or concerning? Then simply listen. This balance of empathy and authority isn't a personality trait you're born with. It is a skill. It is the defining skill of modern leadership.